What's up, everyone? Today I wanted to talk about the Clayface trailer that came out on Wednesday. This trailer looks incredible. So, if you don't know what Clayface is, it's the next film from DC Studios, and it's a body horror film directed by James Watkins and um, starring Tom Rhys Harris, Naomi Aki, Max Mangala, and Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul is also in the movie as well. And this movie looks incredible. Um, so this movie, as I said, is a body horror movie. So they released the second trailer uh, this week because it's Comic Con week, and this trailer was incredible. So basically, what this trailer does is it gives us like a kind of a quick synopsis, I guess, of what the plot's gonna be, right? So we are following the main protagonist of this movie is Matt Hagen. Matt Hagen is an actor that comes from the slums of Gotham. He comes from the Neros. Now, the Neros are like the slums of Gotham, right? So like they're like the very poor area of Gotham. So Matt Hagen is a rising star in Hollywood. So he had to work and work and work to become this actor, right? So he is a rising star in Hollywood. Matt Hagen, and this is what the trailer shows, gets his face cut up, gets his face cut up by a bunch of mob guys, right? And then, in order to heal his face, he goes to this character, Naomi Aki's character, Caitlin Core, who's a original character for the movie. Um, she's not a comic book character; she's an original character for the movie. So Matt Hagen goes to Caitlin Core, and because Caitlin Core is the owner, and she's a scientist, and she's also an owner of a pharmaceutical company, and one of the pharmaceuticals that she is building is uh, a a drug to fix injuries and stuff like that. So he's just like, and when Caitlin Core asks, the trailer starts off with Caitlin Core asking Matt Hagen what he wants. She's like, "What do you want, Mr. Hagen?" And he's like, "I want my life back." So then she injects the medicine into his face, and then you see his body start to change and then reform itself and then change again and then reform itself, and then she's like, "Matt, are you okay?" And then he wakes up from the procedure that she just performed on him, giving him a medication, and um and and he says, "I feel great." And then the next scene we see is Matt Hagen returning after getting his face fixed. Matt Hagen returning to a movie premiere that I'm assuming he's starring in, right? The trailer doesn't say that, but I'm assuming that he's starring in this movie premiere, right? So he, so a woman recognizes him, and she go and this is another scene in the trailer. A woman recognizes him, and um and she says, "Aren't you famous? Aren't you are yeah, aren't you famous?" And I'm very interested to see if Matt has a love interest. Now, I'm thinking his love interest in the movie, based off of the trailers, especially this trailer, is Caitlin Core, but I don't know, right? Because this is only the second trailer of the movies, the second trailer for the movie. Um, so it could be Caitlin Core, it could be this girl that approaches him and is like, "Are you famous?" Right? Aren't you famous? And then you start to see him lose control of his new powers, I guess you can call them. Because if you don't know what Clayface's powers are, Clayface's powers are to, like, he can his body is made out of clay type substance, right? What Caitlin Core did to him is basically turn him into a metahuman, right? Not basically, she did turn him into a metahuman by giving him this substance, right? But the movie says, based off the trailer, and through the trailer we know this, the trailer says, um, Caitlin Core tells Matt Hagen, the angrier you get, the more emotional you get, the less control you have over your your powers, right? And we start to see Matt Hagen lose control at this event, so he starts to run away so people don't see his face and his body like morph into clay, right? And then it flashes again, because this is a trailer, so it flashes again to another scene where Matt Hagen's on a plane and he starts to lose control again. And I told y'all this is a body horror movie, which excites me because we've never had a body horror movie, superhero movie, right? We've never had a well, we've had horror movies that are superhero movies, but we haven't had a body horror superhero movie, right? So that excites me. Um, and you you so he runs to the bathroom in the airplane, and the flight attendants and the people are like, "Sir, you can't get up right now because of the seatbelt sign, or yeah, it's not safe for you to get up." But he runs um to the bathroom, and you can start to see his face like morph into clay again, and um and because he doesn't know how to control, like, he knows how to, he can't, at least I'm assuming he learns by the end of a movie, right? Because this is Clayface's origin story of how he became Clayface, right? I'm assuming by the end of a movie he realizes how to control his powers. But I don't know that, right? Because this is only trailer 2, right? And the movie doesn't come out until October. So we still have a while for for them to show us stuff and stuff like that. So, um, and we won't know completely the storyline of this movie until we go see the movie, right? So then we see Matt Hagen run to this bathroom in the airplane. He takes out a pair of scissors, and you can see like his eye is turning into clay. So this dude, in order to like stop himself from turning into clay because he doesn't know how to control it yet, um, he cuts his eye open, and and then it flashes again to another scene where um Caitlin Core is telling um Matt Hagen, if you like, you gotta control yourself, you gotta control yourself, you can't be emotional. And then she asks Matt Hagen, are you angry? And when and she asks Matt Hagen, how are you feeling? And then he's like, how do you think I'm feeling? I'm angry. They destroyed my life. And I tried to go through the justice system. The justice system turned their back on me, right? Um, this trailer has a lot of, like, it's a very different genre than Joker is, because Joker was Joker, the first one, the one that won Joaquin Phoenix an Oscar, and the one that's really, really good. The first Joker movie's really, really good. The second one, not so much. But the first one is really, really good. This trailer had a bit of Joker vibes. Now, I'm not saying it's the same genre as Joker. It had a bit of Joker vibes because it's focusing on a character that is traditionally portrayed as a villain, right? So, um, so so Clay, so he asks, he's like, what do you think? So he's like, the justice system turned their back on me, and you can tell he wants revenge, and um, right, and then they show like the tagline of the movie, which is "Look fear in the face." So while they're like showing the tagline, right? Intercut they intercut the words popping up on the screen with with um with shots with more shots from the movie because this is a trailer. So they show Matt Hagen getting more monstrous and more aggressive and stuff like that. And you can see him like slamming a mob guy down and creating like weapons that he can, because he can also turn himself, he can turn himself into like weapons. So like he can turn his body into like a mace, or he can turn his body into a sword, right? Because his body is made of clay, right? So he can give himself swords, he can give himself maces, he can give himself weapons, right? Um, and so you start to see him getting more aggressive and aggressive, and then the trailer ends um with Caitlin Core saying, "I don't even know who you are. I don't even know who you are anymore." And then we see the shadow of a full Clayface transformation, which I am hoping they don't show the full Clayface transformation until the movie comes out. I'm hoping they save that for until the movie comes out, which I'm thinking they will. Um, because I don't even think we've seen the most scariest stuff in either one of these trailers yet, which I really like, right? Because we've had a great year for horror movies. Like, I haven't seen Obsession yet, but I did see Backrooms. If you guys have seen my review of Backrooms, you guys know I think that's one of the best movies of the year. Um, right? With Julia Ejiofor and Mark Duplass, and directed by Kane Parsons. Backrooms is one of the best movies of the year, and that's a horror movie. I haven't seen Obsession yet, but I've heard great things, right? Um, and Clayface looks like a great movie that is in the horror genre, and it looks like a great step for the DC universe. And again, you have very impressive people behind it, like Mike Flanagan wrote the script. You have a bunch of feeder actors playing, like Tom Reese Harris. He hasn't done much TV or much acting. Oh no, he hasn't done much TV, but he's done a lot of acting. Right, or much TV that I'm aware of. But he is a feeder actor. He is a classically trained actor. Right. Same thing with uh, Naomi Aki. The most notable person in this movie is Aaron Paul, and they haven't revealed who his character is. I'm just gonna take a swing. Maybe Aaron Paul would be a good Commissioner Gordon, but that's just like that's my guess, right? Because I think Batman could show up, or Bruce Wayne could show up in this movie. But again, this is a Clayface movie. This isn't a Batman movie with Clayface in it. This is a Clayface movie. It's not called Batman Clayface, it's called Clayface, right? So I'm not expecting Bruce to have a big role in it. But if at the end, like, Clayface gets put on Batman's radar and we see who the DCU Batman is, that would be pretty cool, right? Or we see who the Commissioner Gordon is in this universe, right? Um, that could be possible, right? And yeah, like I'm really excited for this movie. I think it's gonna be a great movie. I've really liked Well, I loved Superman. I loved Creature Commandos. I loved Supergirl. I I really liked Peacemaker season 2. I didn't really like the finale very much of Peacemaker season 2, but other than that, I loved Peacemaker season 2, right? Um right? Um and I can't wait to see the Peacemaker character again because I liked a lot of elements of Peacemaker season 2, the finale. I just thought if there was too much like musical montage in the Peacemaker season 2 finale. That's just my thoughts on it. But overall, I've loved what James Gunn, Peter Safran, and the writing and the core writing team behind the DC universe has done so far. And this is gonna be our first introduction to the DC universe, Gotham in live action, because obviously we've seen it in animation in Creature Commandos, but we haven't seen it in live action before. And it looks, this movie looks like a horror movie with superhero elements, or superhero slash supervillain elements, right? Because you're dealing with Clayface here, right? And um I'm excited for this movie. I'm really excited for this movie. And I've tried to record this video like, probably 16 times, right? Right? As I said in my re-review of Iceman, I said I'm a perfectionist, right? I'm not gonna put out a video to you guys um if I don't think it's quality and it's something that I can be proud of, and if I think that I can do it better, then I'll delete it and redo the video. And I've I think that I've I'm really proud of this video, and I'm really proud of this breakdown that I'm doing right now, and with this Clayface trailer. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the Clayface trailer. And if you have had a chance to see the Clayface trailer, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Also, stay tuned because there's rumors that um DC might be announcing more stuff today, right? Because Comic Con still has 2 more days to it, right? So DC might be announcing more stuff, and then Marvel Studios, the MCU, is holding their Hall H panel at San Diego Comic Con today, and I think they're gonna reveal some pretty big stuff, like maybe X-Men cast. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the weekend. It's already been a great week for Nerdsville, man. Like, I'm not gonna list off all the stuff that we've gotten, but like if you guys have seen the videos this week, like we got a Wolverine trailer, Wolverine story trailer for Insomniac's Wolverine. We got great information on Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, where uh the first DLC character is gonna be Phoenix Force Cyclops from Avengers versus X-Men, which I find really really cool. Then we got the release of a new Avatar, the Last Air. Yeah, we got a release of a new Avatar Aang movie, which I'm going to watch and review on this channel at some point. Um, and yeah, like and then we got the God of War Lafay release date. I believe it was yesterday. Yesterday. So that game's coming out February 16th, 2027. So this week has already been. Oh, and then obviously we got the Doomsday trailer on Monday, right? We got the Clayface trailer on Wednesday, or yeah, and then we got the Lanterns trailer yesterday. So it's already been a great week for nerds and for nerd culture and for nerds in general. And the week's not even over yet. Like Marvel Studios still hasn't even gone yet, besides releasing the Doomsday trailer to everybody, right? Which the Doomsday trailer is badass. and they decided to drop that on Monday. So I'm very interested to see what they do with their Hall H panel later on tonight. So yeah, thank y'all so much for all your support. I'm very excited to see what DC Studios has planned for the future, both in all things, in comic books, in movies, in television, in video games. I'm very interested to see what they got, and obviously, um. You guys know I love Marvel, I love DC, I love Star Wars, I love nerd stuff, I love nerd culture, and I love nerd stuff. And yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, please subscribe, like, and share. And I hope you have a great day. And God bless you guys.